Wales 2019 Six Nations squad preview, fixtures, odds. Yeah, I think this is a pretty interesting one for the Welsh, to be fair, especially looking at that schedule, but I will get to that in a minute. Um, as always seems to be the case with Wales in a World Cup year, there are a few injuries. Hopefully some of these longer term guys will be back in time for the big show at the end of the year, but until then, for the Six Nations, the squad's out there, and a lot of the guys who are first choice players are available. There's obviously some who are not, but either way, man, some of these guys who aren't necessarily first choice are still first choice. Gatland's done well in the last few years to really build some depth in the squad, and it shows that when I look at this squad, it's on the board. There's a lot of guys with a lot of caps, and then further down there's a few guys who are 5 caps, 10 caps, 18 caps, that kind of thing. So they've been tried and tested. There's not a whole lot of zeros. Are there any? None. Nope. There's nobody there with no caps. So that's kind of where that Welsh squad's at the moment. So if you're a Welsh fan, I think you should be pretty pleased with how things are looking thus far. But we'll have a look at the squad, who's available, some kind of key areas, what the fixtures are looking like, and all that good stuff. So some of these guys have still got question marks about them, like Elliot D. I think there's a question mark about his fitness for the first game. Likewise, Corey Hill. Some of the backs as well, like I think Dan Bigger. I think he's fit now, but there was definitely a question mark about his fitness. I think Reece Patchell, Lee Halfpenny. I think he's confirmed out for the first one. So there's a few guys who are named in the squad who've kind of got niggles or aren't quite right. And then there are other guys like Shingler, who's just not available. Lydiot, not available. There's other guys as well. Ellis Jenkins. So there's some pretty key guys not available. But then again, you look at the squad, and as I said, still strong, which is encouraging. Ken Owens is still there, one of my favourite players. That guy's going to be going to war, as he always does, for Wales, so looking forward to see how he goes. The propping stocks look pretty solid from my end. I mean, I like guys like Nicky Smith, probably a bit underrated by a few, but he's one of my guys. I don't know why. Locks, you got Alan Wynne-Jones, Captain Fantastic there. Adam Baird, Seb Davis. So there's choices there, and it's just going to be whoever partners Alan Wynne, I suppose. The back row is probably just your favourite area of any Wales squad recently, man. Because I mean, Navedi's been in great form from what I've seen of him for Cardiff Blues. Came back from injury a while back, so he kind of hit the ground running from what I've seen of him, which is pretty much limited to the Champions Cup, but still. Tipperick is, again, one of my favourite players. In that game against Australia, he was just phenomenal for Wales. So, he's going to put in a big shift. Moriarty, I think he's had issues with concussion. So it's good to see him fit and looking to be available. You move over to the backs. I think Gareth Davis is perhaps also doubtful for the first one, but we'll see if they go with Thomas Williams, who's also been very good. The number 10 question, maybe if Bigger is not 100%, they go with Anscombe. Same with if Patchell's not quite right. But, I mean, my history with Anscombe goes back a long way as an Auckland Blues fan. So it's been interesting to see his development since he's left New Zealand. And from what I've seen of him, particularly in the year just gone, he definitely has stepped up a level, or perhaps even two, from what I remember of him. Formerly always Mr. Inconsistent back when he was in New Zealand, but yeah, he's had kind of shades of brilliance at times last year, and yeah, just seems very reliable, which is what you want from your guy who's running the show at 10. Midfield, we've got Jonathan Davis, Hadley Parks, Watkin. I mean, that's good. Outside backs. Like I said about Halfpenny not being available potentially for the first game, but man, Liam Williams, George North, Steph Evans, Helen Amos. I look at this the squad, and I think combined with the schedule, don't want to put a jinx on anyone, but I think Wales could do pretty well. I mean, this is even without Faletau, who potentially could make some of the later games, and if you look at that final game for Wales, that could be a decider. Not counting any chickens, but just on the squad, it's 12 guys from Scarlets, 8 from Ospreys, 6 from Dragons, 7 from the Blues, and 6 based in England. So it's a fairly good mix. But yeah, the schedule: France away. I think that's going to be make or break, even though it's only the first game. I know that's a bit rich to kind of call up. I mean, it's a 5-game run, and there's not really much room for error. But if you get that win against France away, you got Italy away. I think that should be fine. Not to say the Italians are a walkover, but traditionally, if you're looking for a game that's a probable win, that's your one. England at home. So England on the improve from 2018, Six Nations towards November, they were improving. So England at home is definitely a good one to have at home. Scotland away, tough at Murrayfield, but winnable. And then Ireland at home. Again, if you wanted to have a team at home, not have to travel, it's probably against Ireland. So I think even though it's only 2 home games, I think that schedule actually suits pretty well. Someone else mentioned in the comments, you beat the teams in blue away and win your home games, and then all kinds of happy things happen. But I mean, it's still very early to say. They've still got to get that win over France, which is never it's never going to be easy. It's going to be a challenge. But if Wales can kind of hit the ground running, get a win over France, then the next game against Italy to settle things down, then you got the big one against England at home, travel up to Scotland. Man, it's possible. I look at that schedule and I think I like it. I like it better than any of the other teams. It's not to say that that's the be-all and end-all. I think people pointed out that England had Wales and Ireland at home last season, and look what happened to them. So it doesn't guarantee anything. It just sets things up with a little bit of a platform. So yeah, last season 2018, 3 wins, 2 losses. Lost to England and Ireland, both those games away. So they finished second, though. It's a year when Ireland just did it all, but yeah, I think there's potential there. The bookies have got them third, but as I mentioned in the other videos, that England has a large amount of punters, which fluctuates the betting odds towards England having shorter odds. So yeah, can Wales continue their amazing run? Because they are on the form of a lifetime, really. They are I think their last loss was in Six Nations last year. So yeah, it's been a long time since this team's tasted defeat. Gatland's been shifting things around. You saw it in June. He tested a lot of guys that he hadn't tested, and it shows in the caps. I mean, Alan Jones got 119, but Moriarty's got 25, Navidi's got 11, Turnbull's got 10. Outside backs, George North's got 78, Lee Huffman, got 80, Liam Williams got 50, Scott Williams has got 57, Watkins got 7, Hadley Parks has got 10, Jonathan Davis got 67. A lot of guys with caps that are in double digits at least, plus a sprinkling of guys who have been around the system, but maybe not for as long, but still they're quite used to it. So man, Gatland seems to have all his ducks in a row. The schedule seems to be fine. The squad's good. Can they continue this amazing run they're on? I guess we'll see. It's going to be a tough comp. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on the squad, about who's missing, about who's likely to play in that first game. By the time this video goes up, the teams may have even been named. But hey, yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts, and I will talk to you again soon. See you later.